What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Smoking Beard. On today's menu, pulled pork using a bone-in pork butt. We're also going to be reviewing 3 Little Pigs, rubs, and sauces, so stick around. Alright, we've got our pork butt here, and of course I mentioned earlier that it is a bone-in pork butt. Bone-in tends to have just a little bit better flavor than a boneless, although you can use either one if you choose to. But you can see that I've already trimmed off most of the fat cap that's on this pork butt. The reason I do that is because I want maximum bark. So when you do a smoked piece of meat like a brisket or a pork butt, you want that bark, that crispy outside, that mimics bark. It almost looks burnt, but it's not. Full of flavor. It's absolutely delicious. But we've trimmed up all the fat off of this except for just a little bit. We still want some of that moisture, but moisture is the enemy of bark, and you're not going to get a good crispy bark if you don't have that fat trimmed off. So we're going to start off with a layer of yellow mustard and just apply that pretty liberally. And we are just going to rub that in. Now the mustard has got flavor. It's got some twang to it. But it is a very, very good binder or glue for our pork butt. It's going to help all of that seasoning that we use in that rub to stick. And that's what we want if we want that bark that we were talking about a few minutes ago. And just rub that in really well. Get it coated. Alright, that's perfect. Alright, you can see that we've got the mustard coated well on the pork butt. We are ready for seasoning. Today we are using 3 Little Pigs Touch of Cherry Barbecue Rub. Now, according to the package here, it's a sweet blend of cherry, brown sugar, and mesquite. And it's developed and is a signature rub of 9-time barbecue world champion Chris Marks and his 3 Little Pigs barbecue team. So shout out to them. Thanks for providing this for our review today. And let's go ahead and get ready to season this up. We're just going to give a liberal shake all over that pork butt. Just pat that in. We want to make sure we coat all sides of this this meat. Nice layer of rub all the way across this meat. It's going to give us that good bark that we were talking about earlier. Just get that massaged in. Get some of this down here on the pan that we've already sprinkled out. Alright. One more little douse right here. Make sure we're coated well. That is a good looking piece of meat. So let's get it on the smoke. Alright, we've got our pork butt on the grate ready to smoke, and you can see we have a full hopper of hickory right here that is ready to go. And again, we're using that touch of cherry barbecue rub on this pork butt. I am so excited. This is going to be absolutely delicious. So we're going to give this probably about an hour on the smoke. We're going to come out. We're going to spray it with some apple juice. Probably only going to do that a couple of times because we don't want to impart too much moisture, because we do want that really good bark, but I want to give it a little bit of a spritz. That's going to help that along. So we'll see you in about an hour. All right, everybody, we're back. We're going to open our smoker up and give this pork butt a check. Oh, and it looks really good. Now you notice after we went off air a little while ago, I went ahead and put in the probe for this A-Smoke. This A-Smoke portable pellet grill has a onboard temperature probe, and so you notice we put that in to check the temp. Right now it's running at about 120, which is good. I also suggest, even if your grill has an onboard temperature probe, to get yourself a good digital probe as well. So we're going to turn that on, and we're just going to give that a check real quick and see where we're at. A couple of spots here. Yeah, so that 120, 125 is pretty consistent. And of course, in the very ends, it's a little bit warmer at this point because it's going to cook from the outside in, but it's good to go. So we're going to hit that to 160, 180. Once we hit that, we're going to crank up our temperature to give it a little bit quicker cook time. Of course, this is going to take a while. This is a big piece of meat. We're not going to use a crutch where we're using butcher paper or aluminum foil because, again, we want that really good bark. This A-Smoke also has a pellet hopper that's internal on the inside of the grill space. So right now, we're going to go ahead and just push some of these pellets down as it feeds through. Use this opportunity to top off our pellets. All right, that's full. And give it a quick spritz. This is just apple juice. You can use apple juice and apple cider vinegar if you'd like. But we're going to give it a quick spray with some apple juice. This is going to help that bark build. All right, that looks really good. And we're going to let that thing roll for a couple more hours. We'll be watching the temperature in the meantime. If we hit that 160 to 180 mark before the next couple hours, then I'll definitely be back to give you an update. All right, we're back. We're going to check on our pork butt. We're going to open it up, and that thing looks amazing. Check out that bark that's forming. It's just that nice crust that's getting all over the pork butt. And our onboard temperature says that it's about 184. Now, I don't always trust the onboard, so of course I got my digital probe, and we're going to come right in alongside of it. And it is reading at 179, so we're right at that 180 mark. So we are going to go ahead and crank our temperature up. That's going to finish off this bark. It's going to get much darker than what it already is and give us that nice bark. And then once we hit 205, we're going to pull this thing off, let it rest for a little while, and it'll be ready to shred. So we'll see you back about 205. All right, we've got this opened up. I've already pulled out the onboard probe. We're going to go ahead and hit it with our digital probe. Just double checking that, and you can see we're at 210 degrees. So a little warmer on that side, but we're right at 205 on this end here. The bone is separated pretty nicely. It is ready to slide right out. So what we're going to do, we've got the A-Smoke turned off. The heat is starting to dissipate in that. We're going to shut this lid and let it rest for 30 to 40 minutes. And then when we come back, we'll pull this off. We'll get it in a pan, start to shred that, and get our mop sauce on. So we'll see you in a little bit. All right, welcome back. We have our pork butt is done. It's shredded. It's ready to go. Got it all pulled. But I wanted to start off with some fries. I got some hot, crispy fries that we cooked up inside. Those are ready to go. But I wanted to show you that we have got the Three Little Pigs Memphis style rub. And it says that this is good for vegetables. Well, I like French fries, and so we're going to give that a little sprinkle. A little toss. And give that a shot. Get a couple of those. Oh, wow. Really good flavor. I could use a little bit more, though. Check that out, Case. I gotta let my assistant have a little taste.
Very good.
So good. The seasoning's in that. It'd be great on meat, great on roasted vegetables, whether you put them on a grill, roast them in the oven. A lot of great flavors. So that's the Three Little Pigs Memphis style barbecue rub. Check it out. All right. Pull our pork over here, and it is ready to go. So, of course, you know that we used The Three Little Pigs touch of cherry barbecue rub. It's got that cherry flavoring in it, the mesquite, the brown sugar, absolutely delicious. We got our pork here, and it is pulled and it is ready to go. This is a mop sauce that I made that's got some vinegar, a little bit of water, some brown sugar. It's got that touch of cherry rub that we put on the pork when we rubbed it before we smoked it. But it also has this Kansas City spicy chipotle barbecue sauce from Three Little Pigs that we added into that mop sauce. Some people like to put a mop on the outside of it as they smoke. A couple of spritzes early on is fine for me, but I like that bark, and you can see we've got some nice pieces of bark in there, and you can zoom on in case if you'd like. We've got some nice bark there on our meat. But we're going to take this, and this is warm, and we're going to pour that, just pour a nice little bit in there, and we might as well get in with our hands and just get that moved around, get that mop sauce just mixed into that pork really well. Don't want to over mix it. Make sure we get a lot of flavor in all of that pork. Looks like we need a little bit more. There we go. And just give that a toss, and that is ready to go. It's up to you how you eat your pulled pork. You can eat it on a plate, you can eat it on a bun, you can eat it however you like. Make nachos out of it. But a lot of people like sauce, and this Kansas City spicy chipotle would be a great sauce for this pulled pork. But if you use a good mop sauce and you mix it in with the pork, that's all the sauce you need in a lot of ways. So I'm going to give that a taste, and that is a nice piece of pork right there. All right. That is fantastic. Moist and tender. That mop sauce on that fresh pork is delicious. You can taste the cherry in that rub. You got the spiciness and the chipotle of that Kansas City spicy chipotle barbecue sauce in that mop sauce as well. Absolutely delicious. You cannot go wrong with anything from Three Little Pigs. So give Chris Marks and the Three Little Pigs Barbecue Championship team a shout. Let them hook you up with some great rubs, some great sauces. But I'll tell you what, this pork's delicious, and we're going to go chow on it. But like always, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and then hit that bell to get notifications when we have new videos posted. I appreciate you all, and until next time, keep the smoke rolling.